A large portion of agents have no idea how it's getting done. And a majority of the training in the industry when dealing with their clients is kind of stupid. Even the best agents that I work with, some of the most extraordinary real estate agents, still lose listings to a close friend or a previous client. Here's why I figured this out. Look, we've all heard that survey from the National Association of Realtors where they asked homebuyers of the previous year, would you use the same agent when you sell? A majority of the respondents said yes. But flip side to that, when they talked to the sellers of that year, they said, did you use the same agent? The majority of the answer was no. For me, this is the tip of the iceberg of the real problem in the industry. A small handful of agents create million-dollar databases. A large portion of agents have no idea how it's getting done. And a majority of the training in the industry when dealing with their clients is kind of stupid. This business is a relationship business. Just add value, call them and follow the script. It took me being a coach over a couple decades, then selling houses to realize the advice wasn't good. I'm Coach Patrick Ferry, and part of my AIM3 coaching framework is helping agents scale and grow a $1 million database. After 25 years in the industry, working with agents all over the country and selling homes myself here in San Diego, I finally solved the foundational problem that unlocks massive amounts of referrals and strong repeat business. Here's the 3 problems we're going to solve in today's video. Problem number 1, agents don't have a strong value proposition for the lifetime of the ownership of the property. Because of that, they don't maintain a high quality realtor relationship. And so kind of earning referrals just gets lost. Or they're just insecure about it and don't feel good asking. There's a missing component in the mindset that we'll solve today. Problem number 2 is the CRM strategy doesn't help agents predict and project their listing pipeline for the new year. The CRM is just not set up to make it easy to run a communication and a marketing plan efficiently to increase referrals. Problem number 3, agents are great at giving advice to clients and friends about real estate. They're really good at referring out their professional network, home services, contractors, vendors. They become great connectors inside their community, but they don't know how to activate referrals back from all of those professionals. They don't know how to build their business from that reciprocal relationship. These are the 3 problems we're solving in today's campaign. So, if you've been following along, this is campaign number 3, and I call it the Home Service Rolodex. Now, for my Gen Z and my millennial friends, throw that into ChatGPT and ask, what is a Rolodex? For my baby boomer friends, it's the list of all those business cards that you have well organized of all the professionals in your professional network within the marketplace. So today we're going to solve all 3 and unlock your true potential for the $1 million database. Now, how did I learn about this? I got to give a shout out to one of my great coaches, Mike Shum. This was like 2017. My father-in-law, Kai, and I were coaching with Mike with my brother's company. And we asked him, of course, the simple question, what do you do with your past clients and what is that marketing plan? And he outlined, of course, that basic foundation of the 36 touch, 12 emails, pop buys, throw a couple events, call them a couple times a year and follow the script. Then Mike kind of paused and said, would you like me to share with you this cool strategy that I do that really works? And of course, we were like, please. So Mike shared the context of this conversation he had with his database. He said that he told his community, his clients, his sphere, that he wanted to build the best professional network and services list because he works with a lot of buyers moving into the market and works with a lot of sellers on prepping their home and fixing up things and helps homeowners with all kinds of great recommendations, maintenance, vendors, and home services. He sets the context of his commitment to the service, and he becomes the ultimate keeper of the best list. Now, with that context, he follows up with 2 incredibly valuable questions that unlocks this whole thing. Question number 1 that he would ask his clients and his sphere is, have you done anything with your property in the last year? Who did you work with? And would you highly recommend them for me to add to my list? And then question number 2 is, what's on your to-do list this year? What advice can I give you, and can I make a recommendation to someone in my professional network? Now, here's why this hit different for me and Kai. At that time, both of us were doing a lot of kind of fix-ups, light remodels. We both had done a lot of work on our own properties. And so we started to recognize the value of our list of home service professionals, maintenance contractors, and vendors. We started to experience pride in the list that we had. And so we realized in that moment, wow, actually, this is a great value proposition to our clients and friends. And number two, what a great opportunity for us to continue to grow and build our list. This is going to be amazing. And our list is really long. We're helping a lot of these service providers, these vendors, make a lot of money. We've been recommending them 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a year. They're getting $25, $50, $100,000 off of our recommendations. This unlocked for me the value that we get to give to the people that buy a home is so much greater than I actually realized. All the industry was talking about relationships and parties, and then just email top of mind and some kind of weird referral scripting. As I started to develop myself and to help my coaching clients, a phrase popped up. And the phrase was, "Welcome to my real estate family. I want to earn the opportunity to be your realtor for life." This was the mind shift for me. It was no longer, I'm just a real estate agent and I help you buy or sell. Now it was, my goal is to earn the opportunity to be your realtor for life and to help you through your journey of home ownership within the marketplace. And by the way, I created a great playbook with all of the details of the conversations, the questions, the strategies, the CRM, everything that you need. This video is just a quick little highlight over that. So go down below and get the playbook for this campaign number 3. All right, so now that you get the mindset shift and the strategy, let's talk a little about execution. But first, let's start with what doesn't work. A lot of my clients and friends, they said, great, I'll just create a nice list and I'll email that out. Doesn't work. Just being a glorified yellow pages doesn't work. Hey, here's Bob the Builder's information, just sending that information. That definitely doesn't work. Here's what Mike figured out that he shared with us that I mapped into a new strategy. He said, put yourself in between the clients that call you and connect them with the vendor, but do it in 2026 terminology called the group text or the CC. Hey, Bob the Builder, meet Susie and Tim, my clients. We just had a conversation. I think you'd be fantastic to help them. Make sure you guys connect with them the next 24 hours. Let me know how it goes. Now, here's why this works. A, it increases the speed at which they get connected. As we all know, our home services and our professional vendors, they're really busy and they're terrible at answering the phone. So this dramatically increases the quality of the connection. And number 2, it creates a record for how many referrals you've sent Bob. Some of you might be participating in BNI, Business Network International. And inside of BNI, they actually have a system in which they track the outbound referrals or the referrals received. This is brilliant because it kind of sets a playing field for everybody. And now everybody is really in the game of law of reciprocity. So here's the game-changing script that Mike said was genius. I called it the just one script. Hey, Bob the Builder, I know you know a lot of real estate agents. This last year, I sent you 4 people and everybody loved your service. So in 2026, can I count on you for just 1 referral this year? This is amazing. So think about it right now. How many vendors, professional services do you have right now where you've sent them 2, 3, 4, 5 that you can give them a call and say, hey, thanks so much. I know you know a lot of real estate agents. Can I count on you for just 1 this year? For my friends out there, this is 4, 5, 10 transactions that right there, right in your grasp. So let's get after this. There's one more additional problem this solves for. Even the best agents that I work with, some of the most extraordinary real estate agents, still lose listings to a close friend or a previous client. Here's why I figured this out. Let's think about an open house scenario. A property gets listed within the community of a great client of yours or a really good friend, and they just happen to walk over to the open house to meet the great agent. The agent books an appointment with them with one simple close. Everybody knows this close. Hey, you're considering maybe selling your home in the next year or so, whatever that is, and they simply ask, would you like me to come over and share with you exactly what you can do to prepare your home and to be able to fix it up so that you can get the maximum value and make it a great experience. I'm happy to come on over and just walk through your house and give you some good advice. Now, for my friends who are not involved with their clients and their sphere, with year after year being the go-to for fixes, improvements, maintenance, and upgrades, if you don't own that with them, then you are subject to that next agent offering that and then you losing the business. But when you own it, then they say, nope, don't need it. I already have an amazing agent who knows my house better than anyone else. Okay, let's get to the campaign mechanics. So as we've been learning over the last couple of campaigns, I've been teaching some different ways to be able to maximize your marketing when you have a really powerful message to share. So today, I get to introduce you to the ETC strategy. What's the ETC strategy? Email, text, call. This is the most efficient path to getting an important message to your high-value people. Step 1, a thorough email. Explain the context, why you're doing the Home Service Rolodex, the 2 questions that you want to ask them, and let them know that you'll be giving them a call and you'd love to talk to them about this and explain why this is important. Step 2 is the text. Just a quick heads up. Hey, I sent you an email. Can't wait to talk to you about that. Hope you're available within the next 24 to 48 hours. Let me know. That text gets a little two-way communication going. It kind of sets the tone. They check the email. Next thing you know, they're ready to have the conversation, or they can just opt out. Then you make the call. Now the call is efficient. And so one of the big complaints with great agents who have a lot of people in the database is some of the calls to their database, because they're not strategically on a subject, they can get long-winded, and the top agents kind of find that the value return on the time that they spend doesn't really equate. So the ETC strategy reduces the amount of calls and speeds up the amount of time that you spend, but also increases the value. That's why I love the ETC. Next up, let's talk about the CRMs. I worked with one of what I would say is the most referred real estate agent that I've ever worked with, Lisa Munoz in Austin, Texas. Now, she shared with me, we were having a conversation about her database and the amount of business that she was getting between the repeat business versus the referrals. And she used a term that really unlocked for me. See, because I was asking all of my coaching clients to run this campaign, and I was saying, you need to pull all of the property addresses, and we need to get a sense of how to plan this campaign for you. And so I was using the term property address. She used the term households. And that's when my brain exploded. Of course, we have households in our database. And she says, Patrick, I have 990 households in my database. And I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense. So my question to you right now in your database, how many households do you have? Because this is where prediction of your pipeline starts to kick in. An important insight for me over the years in coaching was we would talk about a geographic farm and we would mention the term turnover rate. And they would say, yeah, within this 1,000 homes, the turnover rate was 4%. That means that there was 40 listings available this last year, and going into the new year, there's 40 listing opportunities if the turnover rate stays the same. My friends, what is that for the households in your database? What is your database's turnover rate? And once I realized that we should just be applying turnover rate to the total number of households and keeping track year over year, we can now have a prediction of what your baseline listings are going to be for the new year. This was the great unlock for me. For so many years, repeat business, meaning the people that owned a home who decided to sell their home that year, was just a mystery number. When we would go do our business planning, we wouldn't really know. So when we take the Home Service Rolodex, now we add household and we keep track of that number, and then we keep track of the turnover rate. This combination is going to allow you to be able to project into the new year what the possible listing baseline goal should be for your database. Okay, let's go to the next problem, which is too many of my great agents, they have a lot of contacts, households, people, stuff in their database. So how do we organize this campaign and how do we maximize the results? So let's break this down. Here is your campaign management strategy. Step number one is we just need to identify the top tier, which of course is your clients, your VIPs, people you really have a great relationship that own the home. How many of them do you have? That group of people, your top tier, they deserve the email, the text, and the call. And you really want to have that conversation with that top tier group of people. Now, tier number two, a bunch of you guys have leads, you've got paid leads, home value leads, you've got a bunch of randos, open house neighbors that you've met, this kind of middle tier. That group, if we're kind of looking out into this, Q1 and looking at how to get through this whole thing, that tier might just deserve an email and maybe a text. And then whoever responds to the text, then you have that conversation with them. And maybe a percentage of them will respond. And that's really good because that'll build that pipeline of those kind of middle tier. Then a bunch of you have rando cold leads that you have no idea if they're a buyer, they're a seller, or who they are, or what they are. That group might just get the email. So planning this campaign, you do need to do a little bit of auditing with your CRM. You need to know what your numbers are, because if we're going to make the call and we're going to have the conversation, it's going to take time. And so you might want to space this out. Okay, so if I have 200 people in my top tier, then I need to kind of figure out how many conversations can I have per day, and how do I organize the email, the text, and the call into my busy schedule. And this is where a little bit of campaign management, CRM, and your scheduling really kicks in. All right, let's wrap this up. So how do you predict your listing pipeline? Do the Home Service Rolodex first quarter of the year. How do you build your value proposition? Go have this conversation with your great clients and get great referrals for amazing vendors, and then add huge value back to your homeowners in your database. How do we turn your professional network into a referral generating machine? You use the just one conversation and request. Can I count on you for just one this year? This is step one for me in the AIM³ $1 million database. So I built a nice playbook. Go down below and just click the link, get this whole entire playbook. I'll go in way more detail for you. And once you sign up, we'll automatically just add you to the AIM³ newsletter that goes out every Friday. And if you don't like it, no worries, it's easy to unsubscribe. But that is where weekly I'm going to be adding value and teaching you how to grow to a $3 million business in real estate. If you want to learn a little bit more about my services, also check out my new website, www.coachpatrickferry.com. I'll put that down below in the description box, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.